Hi, it's Dr. Ray here. So I guess it's got to be really scary sometimes to have thoughts that your partner might leave, that your partner might find someone else who you think is better, someone who is more worthy or whatever else. And the reality in that is that way of thinking is what would create the insecurities and also being unattractive. And this is a truth. This is a truth that I've experienced with couples, individuals, and why it is that relationships start to fizzle out, why it is that a person might get bored in a relationship, why people sometimes cheat, and so forth. And it's this, that whomever you're with, or you, is not growing anymore. You're not, and this can include going to the gym. It could include other things to add on to yourself, but truly is about self-reflection, that you're seeing the world from a new perspective. If you are talking about surface things, if you're talking about things that really have nothing to do with a relationship, if you always go into being defensive about particular topics, if people have to walk on eggshells around you about that one conversation, if you just have a very fixed point of view about something, then that person, your partner, can't grow. It's as if you're going to be predictable. And in that, predictability ends up being boring. You know, for example, you can even like ice cream, but if you had vanilla ice cream every day for at least just a week, at least once a day, then by the 8th day, you're like, oh, I don't want that, And so what this means is that the only way for you to remain attractive is by your reading books, to like self-help books, you might be working with a coach, you're watching educational programs, you're doing stuff that stimulates how you might think about yourself differently. It's shifting your perceptions. It's making you think about life from a more expansive perspective. And what happens is that you become interesting again. Your partner talks to you, and how you take in what he or she is saying, you have a different spin on it and you give it back to her. It might be it might be a particular topic in which you've been seeing the same way, but one day you gain insight about yourself, you feel better, and when you talk about that topic, you might even call your partner out on something that he or she starts to think, he or she starts to rediscover themselves. In other words, as you become more interested in yourself, that you end up eliciting conversations with your partner that makes he or she start to think about themselves differently. It's almost like when you start going through courtship again, because you're curious again. You start to discover new things about your partner because you discover new things about yourself. And in this, there's always newness. It's where you just continue to grow and relate, grow and integrate to where you're becoming a new person, she's becoming a new person. And that is how you don't become like this person that's predictable and boring. And I hear it all the time with couples where typically it's with the other partner who's growing and the partner is not. He or she, typically it's more a man, they're not interested in spirituality or interested in self-reflection, interested in deeper discussions. They're just on the surface. So it's like they're predictable. So this, typically a woman, she ends up finding herself like this, it's like pulling teeth to get information for him to be more authentic and transparent. Or when she shares, all he has to say is, that's cool, that's interesting, I'm glad you had that experience, and nothing else. So that is how you keep a sustainable, attractive relationship where people don't get bored of you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please share it. And also, I love what you have to say about this. And If you want to know about more videos that come out, please subscribe to my channel and click the button, the notification button, so you know when a new one comes out. Have an amazing day, and don't be boring.